What better way to officially open up camp than with the return of that guy, Clayton Kershaw. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Access Sportsnet Dodgers. I'm John Hartung. There are still some moves to be made before Kersh is truly on the roster, but Dodger for life is in camp, getting set for his 18th season with the only team he's ever known. Such great news to start the day. We'll have more on day one of baseball activities from Camelback Ranch. Pitchers are on the mound with storylines galore. More on the deep and dangerous rotation and when Shohei Ohtani makes his much-anticipated mound debut. Plus, for the first time since Dodger Fest, we'll hear from some of the Dodgers veterans, the shortstop tandem on how they make each other better, and Austin Barnes with his thoughts on the 2025 season. And we step behind the plate with America's catcher and his band of backstop brethren. It's not just the pitchers in camp already. It's day one, officially, of Access Sportsnet Dodgers. Let's go. And we welcome you inside our Sportsnet LA studios, joined tonight by Jerry Hurston Jr., David Vassay. We've got Kersh in camp. We've got baseball activities. What a great day there in Arizona. I think some people may have been a little surprised to see 22 showing up with his baseball bag ready to go.
I wasn't surprised. We knew that once spring training rolled around and the team was able to put guys on the IL, Kersh would be making his way down the Camelback Ranch.
Everything's right in the world. Clayton Kershaw is back at Camelback Ranch.
And I know they cannot wait for you to get out there to greet all of those guys in just a matter of days. On this first day of pitchers and catchers working out, yes, and what a great morning as it turned out to be, as ESPN's Alden Gonzalez first tweeted out, Clayton Kershaw is at the Dodgers facility playing catch. He and the Dodgers have agreed to terms on a new contract per source, though he still has to finish going through his physical. We knew it was only a matter of time, and now the Dodger for life. He is back in camp, should be official probably tomorrow. Jerry, he's just 32 strikeouts away from becoming the fourth left-handed pitcher ever to strike out 3,000 batters. Fittingly, it's going to happen in a Dodger uniform while he tries to become a three-time champ now.
I'll tell you what, and that's his goal. That is really goal. Listen, the accolades has always been there for Clayton Kershaw. Really, he's been dominant for so long. Now he's in the latter stages of his career. All he cares about is winning another championship and helping this team do that. Good to have Kershaw back, and it is fitting. He's going to do this in Dodger blue.
That's an awkward
Once a
hug.
Dodger, always a Dodger.
Super awkward hug right there.
Is that because their fantasy football team wasn't good last year, so they're trying to get over
one or the other. I don't know. That was an awkward white guy type of hug right there. And that's not a good way to get things going on the first day.
You said it. I didn't say that. You said that.
Well, but look, the biggest thing for me, I saw a video. It's one thing to say Kershaw was playing catch, but he had surgery not only on his left knee, but even more serious was on his left foot. So seeing him actually play catch and land on that foot with no restrictions, to me, was a great sign because he showed me his foot. He took his sock off in front of me in December, and it did not look great. It looked nightmare Christmas-ish when he showed it to me. So that was the biggest sign of good news.
Yeah, and we're on a text chain together with a lot of his former teammates. And, you know, he did have surgery on a couple different things. The good thing is it's not his arm. He says the arm is the best part of his body. So that is a great thing, great sign. Clayton Kershaw will be ready to go somewhere mid-season or so.
Okay, cannot wait for that. Clayton Kershaw's deal, though, it cannot become official until the Dodgers start placing guys on the 60-day injured list. The group of 60-day candidates includes Brusdar Graterol, who had shoulder surgery in November. You have Kyle Hertz, River Ryan, Emmett Sheehan, all of them coming off of Tommy John surgery, and Gavin Stone had shoulder surgery, likely to miss the entire 2025 season. It's the one downside of the offseason to the front office having to do some roster gymnastics because players who are on that 40-man roster, they cannot be placed on the 60-day IL until spring training, DV. The Dodgers have several guys who will be going on that 60-day, and with that does come some roster flexibility for them.
Yeah, and that's why all of this is starting to come together. It still hasn't been made official that Kike Hernandez has signed with the Dodgers. So all of these roster spots are in the process of being maneuvered. And look, that's a great four to consider for the 60-day IL. And hopefully there's nobody else during the course of camp.
Well, and this is why you are in communication with agents, with players. they understand it as well. Kike Hernandez was well aware what was ahead of the Dodgers, making sure they had to get guys on that 60-day IL. That's why Kike was so patient. Clayton Kershaw, the same thing. They understood that certain guys need to be placed on that IL. What a tremendous luxury for the Dodgers. We know what they did this offseason, but to have guys like Clayton Kershaw and Kike Hernandez to be patient, because we know both these guys are big-time performers.
Two guys that are not going to see the field this year or the mound are River Ryan and Gavin Stone. They're out for the year. Brusdar Graterol, his recovery from shoulder surgery is going really well, so you could probably see him the second half of the season. Same with Emmett Sheehan. Not sure about Kyle Hurt, but River Ryan and Gavin Stone out for the year.
And in the case of Clayton Kershaw, as soon as you can move guys to the 60-day IL, then he can sign, and then he probably goes immediately on the 60-day injury list as well. And, you know, some of the guys on the 60-day IL, they might not be able to pitch at all this season. There are other pitchers, guys like a Clayton Kershaw, Shohei Ohtani, Evan Phillips, Michael Kopech, who either will be delayed to start their season, Jerry, or, you know, they might be delayed until some point.
Well, here's the thing. There's nothing wrong with having guys like a Kopech, especially Ohtani, to delay these guys. And this is why you want to make sure you add depth. Depth with substance. We sign guys like a Tanner Scott. We make sure we have Blake Snell in the mix to not allow Ohtani, Phillips, Clayton Kershaw to rush back. So it's so important. Now, we said it yesterday. Listen, when you have guys like a Bobby Miller trying to have that bounce back year, this is so important for them to have a spring training. So here's that.
There's that awkward white guy hug again. Twice in the same show.
First of all, one of those guys isn't white.
I know, but it still was an awkward white guy type of hug right there.
He said it.
I did. I mean, come on. Everybody can see it, Jerry. It was awkward. Let's be honest. Kershaw's human. You can hug him. It's okay. If you know him.
He was carrying a large bag. So
he was. But, yeah, I mean, like, look, the Dodgers are in a great spot. Their depth on their roster is amazing, and even with those type of names on the IL, 60 or 15-day, they got guys like Kirby Yates and Tanner Scott. An interesting non-roster invite to camp this year that may fill a spot to start the year. Giovanni Gallegos from the St. Louis Cardinals now with the Dodgers in camp.
All right, a lot of exciting things ahead of us with more from the first day of official baseball activities and the Dodgers' first step on their road to repeat. Here's Kirsten Watson from Camelback Ranch.
Well, guys, it is day 2 here at Camelback Ranch, and honestly, another exciting day here for the start of spring training. Today was the first day that technically pitchers and catchers officially reported. So their morning started with physicals, and a couple of guys came out here and threw bullpens. We got to see Tyler Glasnow get off the mound, as well as Dustin May and Yoshinobu Yamamoto. So just kind of getting eyes as where those guys are at heading into the 2025 season. Another guy that a lot of eyes have been on is Shohei Ohtani. He didn't get off the mound here earlier today, but he was playing catch back here, just continuing with his throwing progression and rehabbing from the shoulder as well as the elbow surgery. But he continues to show that he is also in a good spot heading into this season. The other big thing going on today was just seeing some more guys. So yes, of course, the pitchers and catchers are here, but as I've mentioned, a lot of the position players are here already as well. And today we actually got to see Clayton Kershaw as well as Kike Hernandez. Of course, recently the news came out that Kike announced that he's returning back to the Dodgers this season. That deal is still pending his physical. He did have that physical this morning, so hopefully it'll be made official here soon. The other guy I mentioned, of course, being Clayton Kershaw. At the end of last season, he shared that he was planning on returning back to the Dodgers for the 2025 season. So seeing him here today, smiles on his face, embracing all of his teammates was really special. His deal is also pending the physical, but he did undergo it this morning. So again, we should be hearing some good news about those two guys making those deals official. Other than that, lots more excitement going on here. So yes, practice will continue tomorrow. These guys are going to continue their progressions and building up, but it's been a really good day 2 here from Camelback Ranch, guys.
Thank you, Kirsten. Dodger Fest was the unofficial kickoff to the 2025 season. Now that the first spring workout is in the books, we can officially say, Davey, the 2025 title defense has begun, even though you aren't there and you don't like to go there and watch guys play catch.
I mean, we just saw Kershaw walk up the driveway. I mean, I've seen that tag before, Southwest. It's great to see Ohtani getting ready to pitch. I mean, I feel like I'm a lot happier here with you and Jerry, incredibly, and I feel like we got everything covered from the studio, John.
What do you mean incredibly?
Well, you know, Jerry's right here.
We are cool guys. But listen, obviously the start of spring training, especially when pitchers and catchers report, everybody's excited, and rightfully so. But to DV's defense here,
thank you.
It is a little boring, but you need the boring to solidify, to make sure that foundation is set and laid down, so then once we start playing games, our pitchers are ready to go. So you need to have these guys, the pitchers and catchers, early get their work done.
Yeah, it's necessary for them to be there, but it's not necessary for me to be there. I'm needed right here at Sportsnet LA.
We need you, DV.
I don't know about the needed part.
Let's do a hug. Let's show people how to hug.
Touch me.
Let's not.
That'd be the last thing.
For the Dodgers, catcher spring training is a chance to get to know some of the new pitchers and start to establish that chemistry with them. Austin Barnes talked with the media today about getting to work on day one of camp.
Same kind of stuff, you know, just getting acclimated, getting back in the swing of things with the pitchers and, you know, the guys we know, just keep building that rapport, and then the guys we don't know, just finding out what they like and what makes them tick. And but obviously a good group of pitchers obviously here, and excited to get to know them all.
What was your reaction to just seeing all of the moves that this team made this offseason?
It's exciting. It's an exciting time to, you know, to be part of this organization. Yeah, you know, obviously acquired a lot of great talent. Now it's just getting together as a team and, you know, meshing together and figuring out everybody and how everybody works. And, you know, that's kind of the exciting part about spring training.
How do you prioritize when you are working, especially with new pitchers? Is it first kind of just building that relationship, understanding the stuff? Obviously, it's a lot of film research, things like that, and working together. But what does that process just look like for you?
Yeah, it's kind of getting to know the person, too. You know, just know who they are, how they like to compete. And then just, you know, when we're out in the bullpen, just finding the little things, you know, setups, what they like to do, what's their pitches, what's the shape of their pitches and stuff like that. Yeah, you know, you have to be familiar with them and the little stuff they like and makes them comfortable. And then, you know, just getting to know everybody's little tendencies is kind of what this spring is for. I mean, and obviously to get ready for the year.
So what's the challenge from going from the high of the highs on top of Mount Everest of baseball to hitting the reset button and trying to do something that hasn't been done in 25 years?
Yeah, I mean, every year you have to do it again, right? So it's you just have to get going. You know, last year was last year. You know, it's not easy to win a World Series. We've been there a lot. We've lost some games, lost some. We won a couple, and just having that focus of day-to-day stuff, and you know, taking care of the little things.
Is there something specifically for you where you said, "Hey, you know, as great as the off-season was, or stepping in, that there was a separate line"? You said, "Not going to." Mookie said, "Can't talk about it anymore."
Yeah, I mean, you just gotta move on. The past is the past. Obviously, it's nice to win this World Series. That's the ultimate goal every year, you know, for the fan base, for us, and any baseball player really. But every year is different. Every year brings its own challenges, and you know, it's not going to be easy. Obviously, everybody's going to be coming for us, and but you know, just we got to do what we do and just keep our head down and keep working.
You been able to see Roki playing catch just yet?
No, the only time I've really seen Roki pitch is you know, he pitched against us in the World Baseball Classic, and yeah, he was different. He was different. He had a, you know, really kind of like a monster up there. You know, he's got a big fastball, that split fingers. It goes different ways. Sometimes it goes this way, sometimes it goes that way. And but yeah, excited to see what he's going to do this year. Obviously, we're going to make him, you know, feel welcome and just ready to compete.
Yeah, we saw a lot of players arriving to Camelback Ranch yesterday. Today, we did see the top prospect in all of baseball, Roki Sasaki, got his visa issues taken care of. Jerry, he is in camp. His major league career is officially underway, and there are going to be a lot of eyeballs on number 11 this spring and all season.
And rightfully so. This guy is absolutely electric. And here's the thing. As great as he's been in Japan and obviously in the WBC, I think he has yet to hit really his ceiling. The delivery, he wants to clean up. He needs a third pitch. He's been working on that third pitch. That is that breaking ball to go along with that fastball and that split finger pitch as well. I think he's going to learn a lot from the pitching staff. Also with the catcher, you saw Austin Barnes right there. Austin Barnes does a tremendous job and has a great rapport with all the pitchers. Just getting his feedback from him and Will Smith is going to take his game to the next level.
The one thing Roki Sasaki has going for him that Yamamoto and Ohtani did not is that he has those two guys to lean on, and they can lend their experience to him and what he should expect his first year in camp, understanding the language, just being there for him whenever he needs them. And that's something that Ohtani never had, and Yamamoto, I'm sure, leaned on Shohei for that as well. So that's the big thing.
Not only that, Ohtani also became a much better pitcher when he got to the big leagues. Him leaning on Ohtani and Yamamoto, they can see things during the course of a start that can say, you know what, you're doing this right now. Why don't you try this? And they could change a certain inning or a certain start that start. So again, it's so important to have guys of your own countrymen that kind of know you a little bit, because they were teammates on Team Japan, and having that rapport with those guys, I think is going to really speed up the process, that learning curve.
And Yamamoto was saying at Dodger Fest he thinks Roki is going to handle this transition very smoothly, even a little bit better than he did just a season ago. We'll all find out together. Straight ahead, we'll take a look at the guys behind the plate. The Dodgers set up really well with a pair of two-time champions and a couple of guys down on the farm who could factor in 2025 as well. Plus, the Dodgers won the World Series, then went out and loaded up again for another run in 2025. We'll run through the incredible offseason, including Jerry and David's most important signings of the winter. Begin their quest to win back-to-back World Series championships. One of the many storylines at Camelback Ranch is Mookie Betts becoming the full-time shortstop once again and having an entire offseason to prepare for the move. Earlier today, Miguel Rojas, an elite shortstop defensively himself, talked about Mookie making that move once again to short.
Yeah, the work haven't stopped. We stay in communication and in contact throughout the whole offseason. When I was ready to start taking ground balls, I went to LA and we started working together. After Fan Fest, we came here to Arizona. We've been working together for a week and a half. I'm excited to see what Mookie is able to do in a full season at short, knowing that he got the news that he was going to play short and he wanted to play short. Right after the season was over. So I think that's really important because it makes him prepared, not just physically, but mentally too. And I think he's in a really good headspace, especially right now, knowing coming into spring training that he's going to have his own routine. You know, he's way more comfortable with the things that he's doing at shore. He just he needs to get some more reps, and I'm here to help him if he needs anything and to be kind of his mirror, you know, because it's really hard when you're catching ground balls every single day. You're not seeing yourself other than a couple videos, but I can be a good asset for him being out there ashore and telling him what he's trying to accomplish, if he's doing it good or bad.
How different does he look out there compared to maybe the start of last year when he kind of got thrown out there?
He looks way more comfortable, especially on the throwing side. I think he found a slot. Technically, talking about shortstop is finding your slot is really important because you're throwing the ball from a different position that when you throw it at right field. He's not throwing the ball way too much over the top or on the bottom. So he's finding a slot that is going to work for him, and he understanding a little bit now that he needs a slot to throw the ball to first base. He needs a slot to throw the ball to second base. He needs a slot to throw the ball from the hole and from the left side. So he, like I say, technically he seems way more comfortable with the throwing. I mean, that's the theory. Let's see the practice when we start playing games.
Mookie was talking about, just for the whole team this camp, trying not to think too much about the World Series last year and restart. How challenging is that to kind of wipe the slate clean after what you guys did last year?
To be honest with you, I think ownership did it for us. You know, when they went out there and got all the free agents and re-signed the guys, they sent us a message. You know, we're not really just happy with winning one championship. We wanna do more, and that's why we're gonna put the pressure on you guys of develop, because and kind of deliver another championship here, because we gave you the pieces that you guys need to continue and make another great run. In our end, we're still hungry. You know, we still want to go out there and prove that this is the best team in baseball, and we can be the best team throughout the regular season and going into the playoff. But yeah, I think the ownership put it on us to kind of deliver now that they did the effort to create this amazing team.
We heard Miguel Rojas talking about the many different arm slots for a shortstop, and Mookie Betts made 9 errors in 61 starts at shortstop last year. Jerry, most of those came on throwing errors, and this is something you know a lot about, the different arm angles, the different arm slots that are required by a shortstop.
Yeah, I said it last night, you know, outside of quarterback and probably being a hockey goalie, playing big league shortstop is the toughest and most demanding job in all of sports. You got to be on time. You got to be able to catch the ball and be able to throw from different arm angles. We know Mookie Betts has an incredible arm, whether it's at short or right field, but he's got to be able to be in rhythm and get through the ball and then through hit and finishing his throws. I got a chance to talk with Mookie Betts a little bit this offseason about finishing his throws. There is nothing wrong with dropping your arm, but if you're going to drop your arm, you really have to focus on finishing your throws and finishing through your target. There's no doubt to me that Mookie Betts will be able to do so and will continue to improve and get better and better at shortstop. He is obsessed with being not just good, but great. I got a chance to see him. My eyeballs, this offseason, he has made some really great improvement. If that translates during the games, we got a pretty good shortstop on our hands.
You got an MVP on your hands if it translates and everything works out the way it has. He's been in the San Fernando Valley during the offseason, working with Petey Montero, one of the best fungo hitters, a Reggie Smith disciple, and then went out to Camelback Ranch and worked with Chris Woodward for about 2 or 3 weeks. Woodward now is the infield coach. Dino Ebel is now working with the outfielders. I think the biggest thing from what I observed watching Mookie determined to try to be a shortstop is don't tap into so many different voices. Yep. Ron Washington would come in with the Angels. He'd listen to him. You got the best guys on your coaching staff, Petey Montero, Chris Woodward, Dino Ebel. You don't need to tap into 100 million people. You got the guys. You don't need to have too many.
I think, you know,
like you got to have an inner circle like Jerry Harris did.
Absolutely. You're not in it. I think, you know, talking to Mookie, you are right. A lot of different voices. The thing I told Mookie Betts, when Corey Seager really became a really good shortstop, now he's not Ozzie Smith, he kept it simple. And I told Mookie Betts, bro, just keep it simple. You'll make the spectacular play, but if you keep it simple, run through the ball nice and easy, and finish your throws, you don't have to be spectacular. You will look spectacular because you are such an elite athlete. One of the things I told him, I looked Mookie right in the eye. Hey, bro, I played shortstop. I played it pretty well. If I can do it, trust me, you can do it. He had a big smile, and he said a couple other things, too, that really hurt my feelings. But he realized, man, this dude can do it. I know I can do it. So no qualms about Mookie Betts going to short.
And nobody has greater expectations than Mookie Betts has of himself. And we've mentioned this before. He doesn't want to just be serviceable at shortstop. He wants to be elite and possibly a Gold Glove winner. Up next, the important dates coming up as we count down toward the season opener in Japan, the home opener against the Tigers, and how the players approach their time in Arizona to be ready when the games count. Here's some upcoming dates to mark on your calendar. This Saturday, the full squad will officially be in camp. Next Thursday, the Cactus League opener, the first of 20 games in Arizona. The regular season begins March 18th with the 2-game Tokyo series against the Chicago Cubs. Then it's back to SoCal for the Freeway series with the Angels. And on March 27th, game on for the home opener against the Detroit Tigers. Last year, the Dodgers reported to spring training before the Super Bowl even took place. This year, the pitchers and catchers reporting a little bit later, about 4 or 5 days, partly, I imagine, due to the long postseason run, DV, but maybe as well, they learned something from last year and going and starting the season in Korea, just like this year starting in Japan.
You know, the biggest thing, John, is individually, guys that were on the team that made the trip to South Korea learned about preparation for themselves individually. Yeah, everybody's different. And also, like you said, the Dodgers as a whole have a better understanding of what it takes to prepare and recover from a trip like that.
I love the fact they've taken those 5 extra days off. I'm telling you, that is huge, especially mentally. You know, this game is so taxing and demanding, especially on the mental side. It can really wear you down, especially with guys like Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, who really are pedal to the metal all the time. You need those extra days. So I'm glad that they're taking those days off. They'll get their work in, enough work to be ready to defend their title.
And the vibe around the team is everybody is excited to go to Tokyo and be part of the Ohtani experience. Last year, there was some lukewarm trepidation about going to South Korea, but this year, I mean, everybody's trying to get on this trip, including Jerry.
Are you going to Japan?
I'll be there.
You're going to Tokyo?
I'll be there.
Yes, you will. 2 of us, we tried. Not happening.
Exactly. Everybody wants in.
Some final thoughts. We look ahead to day 2 of workouts at the ranch. The road to repeat is underway for your World Series champs.
2025年のドジャースが いよいよ本格始動したワールドシリーズ優勝の興奮も冷めやらぬ中、チームはすでに次のシーズンに向けて動き出している春季キャンプの開幕とともに、クレイトン・カーショーの合流、ロキ・佐々木の初登場、そして翔平・大谷の復帰へ向けた政党、大奥の話題が飛び交っている昨シーズン、ドジャースは長い戦いの末にワールドシリーズ制覇を果たした。しかし、彼らは決して満足することなく、さらなる高みを目指している。そのため、このオフシーズンでは、チームの戦力を強化するために、積極的な補強が行われた。ムーキー・ベッツが遊撃手としての役割を本格化させ、吉田正尚、タイラー・グラスノー、山本由伸といった実力派の選手たちが新たに加わったことで、ドジャースはまさに最強とも言える陣容を整えた。このキャンプで最も印象的なのは、選手たちの結束力の強さだ。ベテラン勢が新加入の選手たちを温かく迎え入れ、若手たちは一流の選手から学びながら成長している。この環境がドジャースというチームをより一層特別なものにしているのだ。カーショーがチームメイトと笑顔を交わす姿、大谷が練習後に仲間と語り合う様子、佐々木が日本の先輩たちからアドバイスを受ける場面など、すべてが野球の絆を象徴する瞬間である。特に注目されるのは翔平・大谷の復帰だ。彼は昨シーズン、打者としては圧倒的なパフォーマンスを見せたが、投手としてはシーズン途中で戦列を離れることになった。その彼が今シーズンついに再びマウンドに立つ日が近づいている。大谷のピッチングはすでに MLB 全体が注目するレベルにあり、彼が完全復活すれば、ドジャースの戦力はさらに盤石なものとなる。現在、彼は慎重に調整を進めており、チームも無理をさせることなく、シーズンを通じて最高のパフォーマンスを発揮できるようサポートしている。また、ロキ・佐々木の加入も大きな話題だ。日本球界でも伝説的な才能を持つ彼が、ついに MLB の舞台に立つことになった。彼は、すでにワールド・ベースボール・クラシック WBC で、その実力を証明しており、MLB の強打者たちを相手にどのような投球を見せるのか、大いに期待されている。さらに、同じ日本人投手である大谷や山本と共に過ごすことで、彼の成長が加速することは間違いない。佐々木自身も先輩たちの助けを借りながら、自分の力を最大限に発揮したいと語っており、彼の挑戦を見守るのが楽しみでならない。選手たちは新シーズンに向けた覚悟を語る。オースティン・バーンズは、新しいシーズン、新しい挑戦、去年のことは過去、目の前の試合を一つずつ勝ち取るのみといい。ムーキー・ベッツも俺たちは歴史を作る。去年の優勝で満足するつもりはないと語った。この熱い思いこそが、ドジャースが常にトップを走り続ける理由である。彼らは、決して過去の栄光に甘んじることなく、常に前を向いて戦い続ける。そうした姿勢が、このチームを特別なものにしている。今シーズン、ドジャースは日本の東京で開幕戦を迎える。これは球団にとっても MLB 全体にとっても歴史的な瞬間だ。特に翔平・大谷が母国のファンの前でプレーすることは大きな注目を集めるだろう。彼の存在は日本のみならず世界中の野球ファンを魅了している。この開幕戦はドジャースにとって単なる1試合ではなく、シーズンの勢いを決める重要な試合となる。ここで勝利を飾ることで、チームは自信を持ち、連敗の第一歩を踏み出すことができる。そして何よりも大切なのは、ファンの皆さんの応援だ。選手たちは皆さんの声援を力に変えて戦っている。球場での応援は もちろんのこと、テレビやインターネットを通じたサポートも、選手たちにとっては大きな支えとなる。だからこそ、今シーズンもドジャースと共に歩んでほしい。毎試合、選手たちがどのようなプレーを見せてくれるのか、その瞬間を共に楽しもう。このチャンネルを登録し、最新のドジャース情報をチェックしてほしい。試合のハイライトや選手のインタビュー、舞台裏の映像など、ここでしか見られないコンテンツが満載だ。さらに、ファン同士の交流の場としても、このコミュニティを活用してほしい。コメント欄に感想や応援メッセージを寄せれば、同じドジャースを愛する仲間たちと熱く語り合うことができる。2025年シーズン、ドジャースは再び頂点を目指す。この歴史的な瞬間を共に見届けよう。優勝への道は決して簡単ではないが、チームが一丸となり、ファンの皆さんと共に戦うことで、その夢は現実のものとなる。今シーズンも共にドジャースを応援し、再び栄光の瞬間を迎えよう。